Are we ready?
Yes, we are, Madam President. 401, ready to go.
Greetings to everyone. In an effort to keep the community informed and engaged, my office, the City Council President Brenda Jones, will be hosting a series of video conferences via Zoom to provide COVID-19 related information on various topics. This video today will have various great people here as we focus on small business services and employment. Our topics and feature panelists will be from Small Business Services, Pierre, Batton, Restaurant, Carryout, Curbside, Pickup, Dale, and I never say your name right, Dale, so I'm not even gonna try to mess it up today. I'm gonna let you pronounce your name today. Detroit at Works, Jobs, and Employment, Nicole Sherard-Freeman, Business Services, Charity Dean. And so I'm going to kick off the show today with our small business services because we have so many things exciting happening in light of COVID-19 to assist our small businesses. Pierre, take the floor.
And Pierre, I am unmuting you in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening to everyone listening. I'm Pierre Batton, Vice President of Small Business Services at the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. As Madam President mentioned, we have some great things that we want to mention to our business owners to let them know that they're available. We have a $3.1 million fund, grant fund here in the city of Detroit, a program. Applications just opened today at midnight for small business owners to apply to. You can go to degc.org. Again, that is degc.org to go ahead and apply for that. Businesses of all shapes and sizes, our small businesses are eligible to apply. So we encourage all of you to apply. We are administering a program where you can receive a grant of up to $10,000. All the eligibility and criteria are listed right there. So again, please check out degc.org to find out more information about this. And I will also be more than happy to answer any questions from anyone on the line associated with this program, how it works, and any other small business questions that you might have.
Thank you so much for that information, Pierre. And I know there are a couple of programs that just kicked off. And so I'd like for you to just talk about those couple of programs, if you will, Pierre. On yesterday, Detroit City Council passed a resolution on yesterday. And then I also know today the county exec joined the mayor to talk about some money and some things that the county is doing. And I think they are partnering. I know there is money that the state gave to DGC to help small businesses and assist small businesses on the way. If you could just talk about those things.
Absolutely, Madam President. So yesterday we announced a $3.1 million grant fund that is available just to Detroit businesses. Today, working with the county as well, we announced a $1.6 million grant fund with grant dollars that came from the state that it's available countywide. But how this looks for our Detroit business owners ultimately is, if you're a Detroit business owner, you have access to a $3.1 million pool of small business grants that are available right now today, that you can go and apply for. As a Detroit-based business, you are also eligible for this $1.6 million pot of funds for Wayne County for grants that are available for businesses. Now, you can only win one time. So if you receive a grant out of one pool, you're not eligible to receive a grant out of another pool. But again, as a Detroit business, you do qualify for both programs, and you only have to fill out one application. So if you go to degc.org, when you complete your application, on the back end, you're going to be matched to the pots that you would qualify for ultimately, for both of these programs. And in addition to that, you're also going to be matched to the state also has about $10 million in loan funding that they're making available at a very low interest rate. And you will also be matched to that to see if you qualify for that as well. In addition to that, at degc.org, there are also other resources that are available to you as a small business owner right now. So you can find out more about other loan products that are available. There are going to be some small business administration loan products that are going to become available very soon that were just passed in the $2 trillion stimulus package last week by Congress. So you can find out a little bit more about those, check on a daily basis to see kind of what's been uploaded. And, in addition to that, there's some other great small business activities that, my colleague Charity will be able to speak to a little later on the city's end of things that have been underway now for about a week or so.
So can you tell our listeners, Pierre, how they can actually find out this information again? What do they need to do? Where's the application located? How much money one business can get? I know you said you can only get money from one pot, but how much money is available for that business to actually receive?
Sure, Madam President. For grant funding, you can receive one award up to $10,000 for those businesses that are able to receive a cash grant. For loan products that are available currently, state loans range in between the range of $50,000 to $250,000. And loans through the Small Business Administration, the economic disaster loans that are available today, go upwards of $2 million. So there are different sizes of packages that are available for small business owners. Again, you can go to our website, degc.org, to find out more information about that. We are also going to be hosting a community call tonight at 7 p.m. The call information is also posted on our website. There are a number of different call-in numbers. So as opposed to trying to rattle them all off, I will navigate everybody to go to our website, and right there you'll be able to find the call-in numbers. Again, that call is going to be at 7 p.m. tonight, and we'll be more than happy to answer however many questions you have about the grant and loan products that are available for small businesses.
Okay, for some reason, I just lost everyone.
Council President, in the top right of your screen, you may want to click Gallery View versus Speaker View. That could possibly be it.
I'm sorry, hit what?
In the top right area of your screen, it may say Speaker View or Gallery View. If you click on that, that would likely change what you're seeing.
Actually, everything went down. The screen went down. Stephen, just take on the show until I can come back up.
Okay, welcome back to our show. And we were hearing from Pierre Batton as it relates to the great funds that are available for small businesses to ensure that they're able to provide or get some relief as they are going through this pandemic in Detroit. Pierre, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I mean, just again, we're going to have a call tonight at 7 p.m. So that call information, it's open. We invite you to log on with us, ask your questions, and definitely go to degc.org and put in your application today. We've already received over 400 applications since the grant fund went live at midnight.
Okay. And Pierre, the call that you're having tonight, is that a teleconference call, video conference? What's the nature of the call?
Great question, Stephen. That is a teleconference call. So you can call right in from your phone. That information, there are a lot of different call-in numbers. So just to keep it simple for everyone, we're going to post all of those on our website. So you'll be able to go right there, grab the call-in number, call in for tonight's call, ask any questions that you might have regarding to this grant fund.
And once again, for our listeners, can you give us the website address?
Absolutely. That's degc.org.
Very good, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
So far, we've heard from Nicole Sherard-Freeman as it relates to employment opportunities in the city. We've heard from Pierre Batton as it relates to relief for our small businesses in the city as well. I see that we do have Charity Dean. That's my good friend. Charity, are you ready to talk to us about what you've got going on? Let me see, I've got to do your Charity's iPhone. Unmute Charity's iPhone. There we go.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Charity, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we have been working very closely with Pierre and with Nicole on providing support for small businesses during COVID. Dale from DPW is here. He's going to talk about one of the first things we did was launch our carry-out program that allowed restaurants to sign up to get carry-out signs put in front of their restaurants free of charge with no parking enforcement. We also launched a food rescue program for restaurants who had food waste or food that we did not want to go to waste. And so we launched that with Forgotten Harvest, a food rescue program. I think we're beyond that point because with the governor's order has been in place for some time now. And so we're working on a couple of things. We're working with the DEGC on making sure that folks know about the grant opportunities, and then working really hard. We hope by the end of the week to be able to announce partners to help with technical assistance for the SBA loans. And so the SBA loans are the loans that Pierre mentioned from the federal government that essentially turn into grants if small businesses can keep their employees on payroll. And so we will have more information about how we can help businesses apply for those SBA loans. And we're also working on a couple of other initiatives that we hope to be able to announce at the end of the week or early next week. I think the biggest message that we want to get out to small businesses is twofold. One, there is a Facebook group that was started probably 3 weeks ago. It's probably got close to 1,000 business owners in there, and we are rapidly putting information on there. So if I'm going to send, as I'm talking about items for people to find information, I'm going to send it all to Jasmine so that she can send it out to the participants in this call. But there's a Facebook group. It's called COVID-19 Rapid Response. COVID-19 City of Detroit Business Rapid response. And so that Facebook group is a closed loop because it's really for businesses in the city of Detroit only, but there's tons of resources there. And also we have just a live email blast that we're sending out on a regular basis. But one of the things that we've been doing is taking all of these resources and putting it on a website. So DetroitMI.gov/COVID-19 by tomorrow morning, we'll have all of the business resources as well. There's a little bit of information there, but really we want to drive everybody always to that COVID site, and then you can go from there. So all of the things that I'm talking about will be by tomorrow morning on that DetroitMI.gov/COVID, and you go to businesses and it'll take you to all of the information that we're talking about for businesses. Nicole Sherard-Freeman is doing an amazing job helping businesses support their employees, and so she'll talk about that. But that's really all I have. I think the biggest thing is getting information to small businesses. Oh, I do have a couple other things. We are going to be, and I don't remember the dates, but we're going to continue with our supply schedule. As you all know, per Council President's supply schedule ordinance that passed about a year and a half ago, CREO works with OCP to put on supply schedule events where we connect Detroit businesses to opportunities to do business with the city of Detroit. Those are now going virtual, and we plan to have one coming up within, I think, the next week or so. So we are still functioning even as a department. Every part of our department is still functioning virtually. So we're still certifying businesses if they want to get certification. We're doing virtual site visits so that we can make sure that we're still verifying that these businesses are in the city of Detroit. And we're doing that. And then, of course, we'll be participating in Council President and Council Member Ayers' Small Business Empowerment Fair.
Thank you so much for all that you do, Charity, in an effort to assist all of our small businesses. Everything you do is so much appreciated. So I truly thank you. You have been running so much these days. So I just want to give you a big shout out and a great thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay. I think we will go to our next great deputy director, who knows I could never pronounce his last name properly, and I hate to mess up someone's name. So I'm going to let him give a great introduction of himself. He is the deputy director, and I just want to say thank you also for all that you do. And we had been working on this curbside ordinance for our food vendors for so long, for our restaurants. And so I thank you for what you're doing. Can you just talk about what's going on with that curbside pickup? And first, give your last name. Once Stephen Grady, my great chief of staff, unmutes you. All right, you are unmuted. If you can give your full name and title.
Hey, thank you, Madam President, for having me and for allowing me to do this. My name is Dayo Akinyemi. I'm the Deputy Director for Public Works, and I wish I could be in Hawaii or San Francisco like Stephen and you, man. But we're proud to be at the State Fairground, helping to set up the drive-through and to make sure that things go well here as we expand from the planned 400 per day to the planned 1,000 testing per day. So we need to optimize that location. So I'm in my car, trying to get this done. But it's a privilege to be able to help and support the businesses and especially restaurants within the city as the COVID-19 shut down, the rumor and the conversation, started. A few of us gathered together under the leadership of the mayor's office, Mark Delavan, Charity, and a few folks. We started talking over the weekend, and March 16, was when the governor restricted restaurants to only the delivery and carry out services. March 17 was when the program was launched at 12 p.m. But because the conversation started going on before then, we got the first request in by 9 a.m. on March 17, and we installed the first sign by 11 a.m., an hour before the program was fully launched. We had four installers all around the city getting ready to install this. So to date, we've had 140 requests that has come in. Of that 140, 77 of them came in the first day, and we started installing those signs, like I said, within a few minutes of those requests coming in. To date, we've installed, we've serviced 107 businesses. Some of those signs, some of those locations had more than one sign. We've denied 33. For the 33 that was denied, it was interesting because the program became so popular that we had several requests came in outside of the city of Detroit, from Royal Oak, Farmington Hills, Dearborn, Hamtramck, from all over. Of course, there's no way we're going to service that. We had some requests came in from inside a shopping mall or strip mall that already have parking. Unfortunately, some location had bus stops right in front of them. But all in all, we've installed and serviced 107 businesses. We installed 77 in the first day, 22 the second day, and we keep installing. We had 3 requests came in today, and our goal, as stated on the website, is within 48 to 72 hours. I'm proud to say that we have fulfilled well over 75 of our requests in 6 hours or less. So we're committed to providing these services to businesses and the citizens of the city. If anybody's interested in having curbside no parking signs installed there in front of their businesses, all they need to do is to go to detroitmi.gov/DPW, or quite frankly, just search City of Detroit Curbside Parking Program on Google, and it will take you there. And once you are there, we have very minimal amount of information that we require from you. We need you to provide us your name, phone number, so we can reach back the name of the business, the address. If you give us an idea of how wide your business frontage is, great. If you don't have an idea, we'll try and figure it out on Google. The whole goal is when we get there, we want to be able to install the signs in the minimum amount of time possible. And if we have any conflict, if we have any issue, if we have any doubt, we're going to call you to find you an alternative option. So if we cannot install in front of your restaurant because you're on a queue line, because you're on a bus stop, on a right turn lane, or things like that, we'll find you an alternative location. We'll work with you to find a place on the side street so that you can inform your customers where you're going to be. This is is free to all our requesters. We're not charging anybody anything, and we made it so easy that if you fill the form, we'll be able to respond. And if anybody has any issue, my email address is on the website. They should feel free to send me an email, and I've endeavored to respond within a few minutes of those emails coming in. I'm going to be available for any questions if you have any.
Thank you so very much, and thank you again for all that you do. And on the joking side, one day I'm going to be able to pronounce your last name. I'm going to just practice. I'm going to sit in the corner and just practice, and I'm going to get that last name correct. Let me say, I had an opportunity to talk to a young man that has a restaurant over on Livernois, and he was so impressed with how things went. He said, I did my application online, and by the time I got down to the Oladayo Municipal Center, everything was ready for me to pick up. And he was just really impressed on how fast everything worked and how well everything worked. And so I'm asking, is it still working that well? And I think he was like one of the first 5 people that actually applied.
It's still working that way, ma'am. Like I said, we had 4 people with signs in the back of their trucks ready to install. We put them in 4 different parts of the city on day 1 because we're expecting the request to come in, and they were installing. Even now, like I said, today we had 3 requests came in, and those 3 have been approved. I'll be surprised if they've not been installed by now. Most of the requests that come in the morning are installed that day or the following morning. So we pride ourselves in that. And if anybody has any issue, any concern, my email is on the internet. They send me an email, and we find a way to resolve the issues.
Let me ask you one more question. I think one more. Don't hold me to that. But with the Small Business COVID-19 Relief Fund, and that fund is going to help many small businesses. And so we know that there are so many businesses that are suffering just because people do not want to go out and go into the businesses. And so my question is, have you considered, or will you consider possibly expanding that service, the curbside pickup service, to cleaners, or dry cleaners, or even a pharmacy that don't have pickup service, a drive-through service, and perhaps they can set up something where people can pay for their items ahead of time, and just someone can just run out to the curb and deliver it to them. Is that something you're willing to consider, think about, and that will help our small businesses in so many ways?
Madam President, thank you so much for bringing this up. March 1, we weren't thinking of doing this for the restaurant.
Right.
So, I'm glad we have your wisdom and counsel and recommendations. So I will never say no. If we have the interest in there, we'll consider it. We'll work with our folks in municipal parking department. We'll work with our office of business development and CREO, and we'll come up with creative way to provide the service. We'll consider it.
Thank you so very much. And I don't know if you know how we originally came up with the idea of curbside pickup service. When we originally came to actually do the ordinance, we had a restaurant that was going to be on Woodward. And I'm sure eventually will be opening, that's going to be on Woodward. And because of everything that's happening on Woodward and the parking on Woodward, they talked to me about curbside pickup service. And I came down to the department and I talked to the department. And after talking to them and working with them and seeing it happen in other places, I said, this is something that Detroit needed, not ever knowing that we would be faced with something like COVID-19 of what we're faced with today. And that is something that will continue to help our businesses even after this COVID-19 dies down. And so when they receive their license to do what they're doing, is this something that will be good past this COVID-19, or will they have to reapply once COVID-19, the pandemic, is over?
So the current strategy that we're deploying right now is a temporary thing. We knew it was going to be popular, but we also knew we had to do whatever we can to support the businesses. We also knew that the traffic will be down. So we have approved in location where ordinarily we would not approve. We approved it. One of the ones we approved yesterday was on Congress, right in downtown Detroit. That would not happen ordinarily because of the normal volume of traffic that we have on a normal day. But once we were able to project the traffic data, we're working with our traffic engineers. Actually, the traffic engineering division are the folks that are looking at this and are improving it. So they have adjusted their permission requirement based on the current traffic that we have today because of the stay at home. But we know that it's going to change once the order is lifted and people begin to perform their normal business and we go back to our normal life. Traffic data will become the prevailing traffic condition will be a factor at that point. And I want to say that we'll have to consider that. We'll have to work with our folks in parking, municipal parking department, because don't forget that there are some locations that we have approved that are normally loading zone. We have approved those. There are some locations that are no stopping and no parking that we have overruled that. So these are all the things that we have to consider, and we will update that. But right now, we don't even want to talk about that. We know people need to be able to patronize these businesses. We cannot afford to have any business go out if we can. So we have suspended a lot of our normal standard rules to accommodate this.
Okay. Thank you so very much for that update, and thank you for everything that you are doing, and thank you for being out today assisting in such a very well needed effort. So thank you for everything you all are doing.
It's a privilege to do it, man.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next guest, which is Nicole Sherard-Freeman, who is the Executive Director for Detroit Workforce Development and Detroit at Work. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Council President. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I want to just start off by just asking you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And
of course.
Because I know that so many people are concerned with the FCA project and what's happening with the FCA project, even though it's COVID-19. Can you just talk about what is going on with the people who had applied for work with FCA at the New Jefferson plant?
Of course, of course. So last week or the end of the week prior, FCA sent us a note. We're in regular contact with them, but they reached out specifically to say that they were pressing pause on the construction at MAC and JNAP at the new facility. But when they reached out to tell us that, they also specifically asked us to keep moving with all of our FCA readiness work. They don't know, Council President, and I know you are in very close contact with them as well. They don't know when they are going to fully restart operations. They have every hope that they are still going to get that Jeep Grand Cherokee off the line sometime early next year. You know, they are, that drives their revenue, and they have a whole lot of incentive to get that project back on track and keep it on track, but it's all dependent on how the virus unfolds and how quickly we can get Detroit restarted. So everyone who was on the list is still on the list. Anyone who wants to go through an FCA readiness event can go to our website, DetroitAtWork.com, and all of the content, Council President, that any resident would have received in a Detroit at Work Career Center or at a community event, those community events we were running all over the city, all of that content is now available at DetroitAtWork.com. And so folks can still get on the list. I can't say when the interviewing will restart, but I can say that FCA wants us to continue building the list.
Thank you so much for that update. And I had a conversation with FCA myself, so I was very much aware that they were going to decease the work that was going on out at the construction site. There were a lot of people that were actually complaining that they were literally still coming to work, and they were concerned about COVID-19 and being at work. And so I talked to them about that and the concern that we were getting from the individuals that was on the construction site, but I also talked to them about whether or not they could actually do the interviewing by phone, and they explained things that I definitely understood as to why they would not be able to do the interviewing by phone. But again, I thank you for continuing on with what you all are doing. And I know that, you know, we say when things return back to normal, but normal will never be the same as to what we're looking at prior to COVID-19. And so we don't know what the new normal is going to be. So I just want to say thank you to you and your team for all the work that you've done with preparing the Detroit workers, or ready to go to work residents, to get ready for interviews for FCA. So thank you so much. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add with the FCA project, but if not, I just want to ask you about whether or not you know what is happening with the suppliers who are also going to be hiring. Are they still interviewing, or are they doing anything?
Yeah, so that is a great question. There are a couple of suppliers, Dakota's one, who's still interviewing. We know that for many of the suppliers, their timeline was dependent on FCA's timeline, but they are more eager to stay ready than they might let on. They don't want, the one thing that the suppliers cannot have happen is FCA is ready to restart and they aren't. So they are keeping their conversations with us, their review of candidates. It might not be visible in large numbers like it was with FCA, for sure, but they are continuing with their work. I will tell you though, Council President, to your point, if I might, and you tell me if it's okay to keep heading down this road, but I will tell you, while Detroiters are working to stay healthy or working to get healthy, or even Detroiters who are grieving over those who have lost, it's a hard time to talk about the restart in Detroit, but the restart is coming. We can't see it right now, but just like you said, there will be a point when we may never be the same, but we will definitely get back on our feet. And to that end, for anyone who was able to tune into the mayor's 3 o'clock press conference, we talked about Detroit at Work, ready to hire. Now, I know it's hard for some folks to be able to think about a different job or a new job right now, but because there are so many Detroiters who are laid off, we've got more than 1,100 jobs available that we've just gotten calls for on DetroitAtWork.com's website. So, Council President, I don't know if you want me to keep talking a little bit about that now and to talk about unemployment insurance, or
yes, I want you to give that, if you can just give your whole presentation on what you're doing right now.
Certainly. So before we flip to the slide, Nicole Jackson, who's running the slides for me, let me talk just a little bit about the Ready to Hire initiative. So in partnership with local businesses, what we've done at Detroit at Work is set up a whole new category of job postings on our website called Ready to Hire. So if you go to DetroitAtWork.com, you can go from your computer, you can go if you have data on your phone, or you can call us at 313-962-WORK. That's 313-962-WORK, work. And we can help get you connected to, right now we have about 35 employers across the metro area. We've got Henry Ford Health Systems. They need CNAs, patient transport, and environmental services, and they are hiring this week. We've got delivery driver positions like at Black and Mobile, which is, they're hiring 47 people to support 10 Detroit restaurants and the kind of restaurant pickup service, Council President, that you and Dio were just talking about. We've got U.S. ICE that needs delivery drivers over on West 8 Mile. We've got grocers and drugstores like Meijer and CVS, both in the city. We've got Mike's Fresh Market over on the east side and a whole group of grocers over there that have in total, more than 100 openings for retail associates and stockers and other positions. So not all of the positions require you to have direct contact. So if you're more comfortable in a job that doesn't require you to have direct contact with people, we have both. Now I'll tell you, most of the jobs pay in the $10 to $12 an hour range, but some of them pay $14 an hour and above. There are even some construction jobs, Council President, that are on our site. So I just ask you to go to DetroitAtWork.com or call us at 962-WORK, and that's the best way to get connected to opportunity. Now, Nicole Jackson, can I ask you to flip to the first slide? So you know us, as Council President said, you know Detroit at Work as the agency that was helping you to connect to jobs. Now we want to help you stay abreast of what happens when you lose your job. So that's not our core business. We have stepped into this space to try to help close the gap at Council President and the Mayor's request. And so the way to file for unemployment is to go to michigan.gov/UIA. Or for those who can't see the screen, the phone number to call is 866-500-0017. Again, that's 866-500-0017. And so the Unemployment Insurance Agency, which is a state agency, it's not a local agency. We don't run it. We're just trying to share information about it. The State Unemployment Agency is very backlogged. They're getting through the website takes longer than usual. The website crashes. Getting through on the phone takes longer than usual, but they are adding resources every day. And I want anybody listening to this call and anybody you talk to know, just keep trying. There's a filing schedule that the Unemployment Insurance Agency is asking Detroiters and everybody else across the state to follow, and it's based on filing by your last name. I'm not going to walk through that, but Council President, I know you'll be making these slides available on your website, and so just take a look to get the best service. Take a look at the filing schedule and call according to your last name. Next slide. I know there are lots of questions out there about this new Federal CARES Act and when people who are receiving unemployment insurance are going to receive their extra $600 per week. I want residents to know that the state of Michigan is working out the details with the Department of Labor. Detroit doesn't control that. The state of Michigan doesn't control that. They have to work out the rules of the program with the Department of Labor. But I want you to know that anybody who has recently filed unemployment or who files it going forward will be eligible for that $600 extra per week through the end of July. More information is coming. Again, I encourage you to go on the Council President's website and look at the slide that's up now. If you have already filed for unemployment, you don't have to file again to get the $600 extra per week. It will happen automatically, and the details are coming in the next few days on how that program will work. Next slide. Now I'd like to talk so I just want to leave you with, so Detroit at Work, all the services that you would have received in a Detroit at Work Career Center are available online at DetroitAtWork.com or by calling 962-WORK. That's area code 313-962-9675. We can still help you build a resume, work on your interviewing skills, apply for jobs. You can still go through those FCA readiness events. I mean, for those who are going to have some time at home, it's a good way to put that time to good use so that when Detroit restarts, you're ready. Next slide. Now I want to switch for just 2 minutes, Council President, to talk about how we're supporting small businesses. So I'm following Charity Dean's remarkable leadership on this, and we at Detroit at Work are ready to help small businesses in 2 ways. Number one, if you are a small business and you are ready to hire, then I'm asking you to go to our website, DetroitAtWork.com, click on Hiring Now, tell us your information, and we'll reach out to you. Or you can call Spencer Lucker at 313-788-1359. Again, that's for small business owners or mid-sized business owners, really anybody with a business who needs to hire. We can help you hire through Detroit at Work. Next slide. And then, as Charity said, we've retained an HR consulting company with the generous support of DTE to provide unemployment insurance filing for small businesses and to help small businesses make decisions on, should I use the state work share program? Should I lay my employees off? Should I put them on leave? There's this new paycheck protection program that will help small businesses with cash flow. There's a way to think about those things as a package. And so Charity is leading that work. We are supporting her with just supporting the HR needs. And if you're a small business with HR needs and you've got some questions that you need help with, excuse me, you can either email me at the address on the screen, or you can text me at area code 313-319-5831. Again, you can either email me at the address on the screen, or you can text me at 313-319-5831. And Council President, that's it for me.
Again, thank you for all of the work that you are doing and all of the great people that are working with you, getting this done to assist the citizens in the city of Detroit. Now we are going through a rough time, but just like summer, winter, spring, and fall, as I always say, this season will change as well. And we will not always be going through the COVID-19. And so, Nicole, I just want to ask you one additional question. And you've talked pretty much about what people can be doing right now as we are going through the COVID-19 issues, in that they can actually go online and prepare themselves. And this, I don't know if I missed you, but did you say they can also call? If they're unavailable to go online, they can also call?
Yes, that's right, Council President. They can call us at 313-962-WORK. That's 313-962-WORK, and we can help them by phone. We're about a week or so out from having some paper solutions. So right now, online and by phone are the options.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so very much. All right, is there any last words you wanted to add? I know you gave a great report, but is there anything else you wanted to add that you didn't already add that will assist the people as they're going through COVID-19 and preparing for a job? Know they can get a job now if they're interested in working right now. And I know they can prepare themselves for the jobs that are to come once the COVID-19 pandemic has ended. But is there anything else you want to leave people with? Because I know we'll have a lot of jobs still hitting the city of Detroit.
I think I would just encourage people, as you are, Council President, to keep watching your programming, to keep watching your website, and to keep going to DetroitAtWork.com. As we restart, it's going to happen in ways that none of us can project or anticipate. I just want Detroiters to be hopeful, stay well, and gear up, suit up for the comeback.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that great information. And we look forward to continuing partnering and continuing to work with you as we continue to go through COVID-19, but once also COVID-19 pandemic has ended. So we are going to go to our callers who are on the line, and I know we have several of them who have questions that they want to ask our panelists. And so if we go to our first caller.
Madam President, my first caller, I have a hand up. The last 3 digits of your phone number are 110. You are now unmuted, 110.
You have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carol Conway, and I am a member of the 14th District Democratic Party. I don't have a question for the panelists. I want to know, what are we doing about our homeless people? Are they being tested or monitored for the COVID-19?
Great question. And yes, there is things that are happening to help our homeless people. We just got off of a call. I don't know if we have someone on the panel right now that actually want to talk about what's going on with our homeless people, because there are plenty of programs that are going on to help our homeless people. Many of them going to rescue missions, and we have people that are going around to the shelters that are testing the homeless. But if there's someone on the panel, and I don't know, Ms. Dean, if you're prepared to talk about what, I know the mayor just gave a presentation about what was going on with our homeless. So is there someone who want to talk about what's going on that's on the panel?
This is Charity. I can't speak to that, although I can tell you, and the only reason I can't speak to it is because my colleagues are doing an amazing job. So I know for a fact that there's a team that is working every single day, almost 24 hours around our homeless population. I'd rather have them speak to what they're doing every day, but if your general concern is that, is someone thinking about them? Yeah, we've got our entire Arthur Jemison, and then our entire housing department is almost shifted to really looking at homelessness in this COVID situation.
Okay, thank you so much. And then you can also go online. I think there's information on the website on DetroitMI.gov, and I will also get you that information as well, Ms. Conway. I will call you with that information because there's a lot of information that's out there to assist our homeless. If we can go to caller number 2.
You tell our guests that in order for them to speak and raise their hand, they have to press *9.
All right, I've just been informed for our guests who are on the conference that if you would like to raise your hand, please press *9 on your telephone. If you press *9 on your telephone, you're able to raise your hand, and then that will allow me to know that you are here to speak. And I see several of you doing that right now. We're going to take our next person to speak. The last 3 digits of your telephone number are 458. Caller 458, you are unmuted.
Yes, can you repeat that Facebook page where that where all the resources and everything are located at? I couldn't get it all the way. It was a COVID-19 resources Facebook page.
Yes.
Hello?
Charity, you might be on mute.
I will get, I think Charity gave that COVID Facebook page, but I will also, you can also go upon the DetroitMI.gov, and there is a lot of information on the DetroitMI.gov website. You can also go to my Facebook page. There's a lot of information on my Facebook page as well.
Okay, we don't have the Facebook page any info.
You're saying
If you
the
give me
Facebook
just a second, I'll see if I can, give me just a second and I'll see if I can pull it up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Just a second.
And I think
It
we're
is
all
called,
put up
can you
at-
guys still hear me?
Hi, guys.
You have a Charity?
Oh, hold on, Charity.
Can you guys still hear me? It's Nicole, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, the
Can you hear me?
Facebook page that Charity mentioned earlier is City of Detroit Business Owners COVID-19 Rapid Alert. Again, that's City of Detroit Business Owners COVID-19 Rapid Alert. That's the Facebook group that Charity mentioned.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so very much.
All right, we'll go to our next caller. And the last 3 digits of that phone number is 737. Caller 737, you are unmuted.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Miriam Maru. I am a small business owner in District 5. I really would like to first and foremost thank you, President Jones, for putting this together and having all these panelists available. You guys have just brought me so much information that I really needed to hear, and it was reassuring, and made me have another sense of confidence, like, okay, if I heard it physically, like from their voice, from their mouth, okay, this is the steps, this is what I need to do next. My question is, how and what organizations are going to be partnered with in regards to providing these technical assistance that all these entrepreneurs like myself need? You know, someone who doesn't have 3 years profit and loss, you know, 3 months in new, it's nothing but debt because it's a new business with nothing but expenses, you know, so what is there for an individual like myself?
Pierre, can you come on and talk about, is there anything we can do to assist new businesses?
Absolutely, Madam President. For existing businesses that don't have those resources, that need some sort of technical assistance, I would say feel free to reach out to us at the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. You can take down my email address. It is, as in my first name, Pierre, B as in boy, A as in apple, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, O as in over, N as in Nancy at degc.org. We'd be more than happy to send you a list of technical assistance providers, such as organizations that we work with, like Accounting Aid Society, TechTown. There are a number of other small business support organizations within the Detroit ecosystem that can assist you in terms of, you mentioned the creation of your profit and loss statements, who can kind of help you get some of those documents so that you can go out there and apply for the currently available funding, as well as funding that is going to become available in a short period of time. So again, feel free to send me an email, and we will be more than happy to follow up with you with some of those details as to other providers within our ecosystem that you could work with right now today.
Okay, thank you so very much. And if you still have any questions, please feel free to call my office at 224-1245. My staff is still working from home and checking the voicemail. If you leave your information, we will call you back. Just leave your information and we will call you back if you still need additional assistance. Thank you so much for that information, Mr. Batton.
Thank you, Madam
And
President.
Madam President, before we go to our next caller, Mr. Batton, can you provide just some background information for our business owners to know what some of the criteria that you look at as you're determining if they qualify for the program?
Absolutely. So for the grant program, there are a number of different buckets that we're using for sources to be able to make these grants available. But ultimately, it comes down to being a small business that has less than 50 employees. Another criteria is to be located here in the city of Detroit. And then the final criteria is just to have a net income, so a profit of less than $1 million a year. If you fall within those parameters, the odds are that you qualify for grant funding within the program. Again, the full program guidelines, the full selection criteria is available on our website at degc.org. But that's a kind of a high level, who qualifies a piece. If you have any questions about the program specifically, you can, feel free again to jump on our call tonight. I'm going to give two of the numbers. There's about 7 different numbers that you can call in from, but I'm going to give 2 of those numbers to everybody right now. The first is 253-215-8782. Again, that's 253-215-8782. And the second number is 267-831-0333. Again, that's 267-831-0333. And that is for the call that we're doing about the Detroit Small Business Relief Fund grants tonight between 7 and 8 p.m. So again, please call in, please join us, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions during that time as well.
Thank you so very much. And before we go to the next caller, let me also say that tomorrow we will have Don Rencher, who is the director of our Housing and Revitalization Department. He will be on the show tomorrow to talk about homeless services. So if you can tune in tomorrow, you'll get an opportunity to also hear information directly from him. You can go to our next caller.
All right, thank you, Madam President. Our next caller is the last 3 digits of your telephone number are 338. So caller 338, you are unmuted.
Caller, are you still on the line?
Caller 338, you are unmuted.
Caller,
hello, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Council President Geraldine Jackson. I'm basically on the call for information, so I yield the floor. I'm basically listening.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. We'll take our next caller, and that is last 3 digits, 290. Caller 290, you are unmuted.
Hello, I am calling in reference to the Detroit at Work programs for individuals who have been having issues with the CNAs. Basically, more or less, is there a program in place for on-the-job training or apprenticeship to move them up, or any type of certifications through Detroit at Work that could assist a CNA to move up quicker? Since I know that there is a really high demand for nursing. And so these are the questions that I'm being asked.
Thank you so much for your question. That's a very important one. We don't have in place right now a program to help CNAs upgrade. That is on our list of things to tackle in the next 3 weeks. Right now, training through Detroit at Work has been suspended because we don't want people, for the safety of residents and for the safety of staff, we don't want people in the classroom until we can get a handle on how this virus is spreading. So we are looking at online options to help CNAs upgrade their certification into the next step for the healthcare. So thank you for your important question. It is on our agenda, and I'll be happy, Council President, to come back in a few weeks and talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. And our next caller, Madam President, is caller number 244. Caller number 244, you are unmuted.
Caller 244.
Hi, this is Stephanie Washington. I just want to first say thank you for this. This is very informal. We need to know this information. And then I have two questions. The first question is, how do we access this recording after it's done to send this out to different business owners and community leaders in the community in general?
How do you access the information that was given by Nicole?
This recording.
Council President, if I may, we're recording the meeting, and once we edit it for release, it'll be on our YouTube, and we'll share that link.
Okay, what's the YouTube?
Council President Brenda Jones.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And then the next question is,
everyone visually.
Okay, and then the next question is Detroit at Work facilitating the technical skills pertaining to the resume and the soft skills needed to, or is this being contracted out for pretty much the technical skills and assistance for different residents to start doing work or to get hired?
So thank you for that question. So resume building, interview skills, soft skills training, digital skills literacy, all that programming is available on DetroitAtWork.com. Now, we do ask you to create an account. It takes less than 5 minutes to do that. And the reason we're doing that is so we can track data to see how many residents we've helped, how many have used services for what purpose, and so that we can better connect you to resources. So if you go to DetroitAtWork.com, create an account, there's all kinds of job readiness, work readiness, polishing up your skills, videos that are available right now.
Okay, thank you. And do you have an email?
Yes, my email? Sure.
Yes.
It's long, so you ready?
Uh-huh.
It's Sherard, S-H-E-R-A-R-D, Freeman, F-R-E-E-M-A-N, and then N. So that's just all one name. Sherard-Freeman N at DetroitMI.gov. And it's
Thank you so much.
PowerPoint deck. You bet. It's also in the PowerPoint deck that Council President will share.
Okay, thank you so much.
And
you guys have a good one.
Thank you. And the PowerPoint would also be up on my Facebook page. So thank you so much. Our next caller.
Madam President, that completes all the callers I have in the queue as of now.
Okay, I thought I was looking at 6 participants who still had their hands raised. And so if we don't have any additional callers, I don't know if there's anything else that our small business, Pierre Batton, wanted to add. If there's anything Charity Dean wanted to add, anything Nicole Sherard-Freeman wanted to add.
Madam President, I may be in error. It looks like we've been joined by caller number 507. Caller 507, you are unmuted.
Hello, yes. Sorry, I thought I had already pressed the appropriate keys, but my name is Marvin, and so I work, I actually employ full-time in the emergency department throughout the DMC, but I also have Airbnb properties that I rent out, and I did not, unfortunately, I'm kind of kicking myself right now, I did not register it as a business. That was kind of one of my things to do, like on a list of things to do, but so I guess my question specifically is what is the criteria that's considered to be a business? I know Pierre kind of alluded to this earlier and said that it was on the degc.org website. So I don't know if maybe I should just look there, but trying to see what resources maybe the city or maybe even the state is offering. Again, because I have, due to the lack of people traveling, I've had a substantial loss of income in regards to Airbnb, at least for short-term rentals.
Mr. Pierre Batton, you want to respond?
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam President. For the grant fund that we kind of gone over on this call, that would just be available to businesses that were basically incorporated, so to speak, prior to March 16th of this year. So, you know, if for your Airbnb, if it's not a formal business with an EIN number, unfortunately, you would not qualify for the grant fund. I would still, though, encourage you to check out our website at degc.org. Things are rapidly changing. Additional resources are rapidly being made available, and we do post all sorts of resources on our website. Some of which might pertain to you specifically and your situation. So I would still encourage you to check out our website to see what resources may be available for you in your Airbnb units.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Do we have any other callers?
I'm understanding that Ms. Dean also has some information about that to add.
Ms. Dean?
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to add that the button that I said would be online tomorrow is actually online. So if you want to, a lot of the information, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's even a link to DGC's page, and whether it's about Curbside, all of the business resources that we've been talking about, if you go to the DetroitMI.gov/COVID-19 or DetroitMI.gov/coronavirus, they're both take you to the same spot. There's a button that says business resources. You click that button and all of the business things that we've been talking about today, from the HR piece with Nicole Sherard-Freeman or the DGC stuff, the Curbside, all that stuff is there. On the right-hand page, on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a link to join the Facebook page. And then if you want to sign up to get those emails that I said we were sending out, that link is there. If you're a business right now and you're currently open, there's a link there to let us know that your business is open as we're sending out information. And then there's just other links on there on that website as well. So everything, if you just go, always, if you're thinking about coronavirus, just go to DetroitMI.gov/COVID-19 and click on business resources, and then that'll take you to a whole host of resources for Detroit businesses. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Madam President, our next caller is caller number 785. Caller 785, you are unmuted.
Caller 785, you have the floor.
Caller 785.
This is Bishop Cheryl Minehan, and I don't really have a question. I'm just observing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bishop, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Absolutely.
We
And thank you for everything you do as well.
God bless you. I was on, I'm just tell you this real fast. I was on the internet trying to get onto the Zoom, and then I was on there for like 45 minutes, and then, nothing happened. So I called, and I wasn't able to really, tag in until I went back to the internet to send you guys a message. And I wanted to thank you for your leadership and stepping up during these really critical times. And since I'm talking, I have a young lady who has a church building that she wants to utilize to put to some service or some sort of outreach for the city. And we can talk about it later. Somebody can email me and I can follow it up.
Okay, we will, and I think I still have your phone number, but we will give you a call, or you can just call my office number, 224-1245, and leave your phone number there, and I'll give you a call back.
Beautiful. That'll work, and however we can help, we ready.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you even more. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Madam President, it looks like that completes all of the folks that we have in line for questions or comments. I would like to let everyone know on the call.
Stephen, I see 6 hands raised.
I still see some hands raised.
So I'm going to explain to you all that all of those have been called on. I have no way to lower their hands. I do not see a way to lower their hands. We've called on all of those hands that have been raised.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just as I was saying, we have had to go through a few additional activities to host this meeting, as there have been some people who have been going around to Zoom meetings and Zoom bombing. That's a new term that I've learned, where they go in and they have pornographic images and they say profanity on the line. So we are taking steps to combat that. One of the steps that we took was to limit access to our meeting tonight, and we're learning a few things. We've learned a few things tonight. We will continue to improve these meetings so that those who have a legitimate reason for coming on to want to learn our information, interact with our esteemed panelists that we have, we want to make sure that we give you every opportunity to do that. But for those who experienced any difficulty coming on the meeting tonight, we apologize in advance, and we are working to correct some of those issues that you experienced. Madam President, I'd like to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, and thank you. And I know that you also had the same problem today as DEGC was hosting something, basically had the same problem today. And it's unfortunate that as we're going through COVID-19, people have the time to actually do things of that sort. It's unfortunate because right now people are sitting at home and they're trying to get information to assist them or to assist a family member or a loved one, and we are doing everything we can along with other organizations who are doing exactly the same thing via video conference. And so it's unfortunate to have someone who obviously have nothing else important to do, and if they have nothing important to do, maybe they want to think about donating their services and their time to assist someone who is in need, and that would be much more productive than going to a Zoom meeting or video conference, putting up pictures and using profanity. Unfortunately, we have that happening, and with what we are facing today in the United States of America, we truly should not have things like that happening at such a time as this. That's unfortunate. Having no other callers waiting, I'm wondering if there is any last words our panelists wanted to give. I don't know, Mr. Patani, I think you talked about the resolution that we passed on yesterday, but did you actually talk about where that money came from and how we were able to come up with the $3.9 million?
Madam President, no, I did not go in that level of depth, but I would be more than happy to. Through council's actions yesterday, we were able to reprogram $2.3 million from the city's casino loan fund, as well as monies that weren't utilized, that were going to be dollars that would have expired for the Motor City Match and Motor City Restore programs. And in addition to that, we were able to add the additional $1.6 million that was announced by the mayor and the county executive today to create the funds available for this program. So this was a great effort. We thank you, Madam President, and we thank your leadership on this. We thank City Council for making this possible for our businesses. We also thank the Mayor's Office for working with us and acknowledging the need right now and this unique situation. So we are extremely thankful for all parties of our local government here in the city of Detroit for coming together, stepping up to be able to provide this resource to our business owners, right now during COVID-19. And again, this is a multi-layered approach. So the grant program is, 3.1 million of just money that's just available for cash grants for Detroit businesses. There's another 1.6 that as a Detroit business, you can qualify for this, the joint grant fund that we have with Wayne County. And in addition to that, there are other resources that are available in the form of loans, some of which will be forgivable, some of which will be, standard loans with lower interest rates than you would normally see. So, again, reach out to us. We are a resource here. You can find resources listed at degc.org. And one more time, we are having a call tonight at 7 p.m. If you have any additional questions about qualifications or anything like that, you can definitely log on to that call. It's I think Madam President and Mr. Grady kind of detailed some of the Zoom challenges we've had, and so it will be call-in only. But I'm gonna give two of those numbers just one more time for folks, because we really do want you to be able to call in and ask your questions, and because these are resources that are available for you. So again, the first number is 253-215-8782. Again, that's 253-215-8752. And that second number is 267-831-0333. Again, that's 267-831-0333. And that call is going to take place in an hour and a half at 7 p.m. tonight. So look forward to talking with any of you there. If you've already gotten your questions answered and you know other business owners, please pass this information along to them. Let them know, because each one teach one. So thank you, and thank you, Madam President.
Thank you also for everything that you are providing at DEGC, all the services that you are providing in helping during this COVID-19 period. So thank you again.
Thank you, Madam President.
Madam President, we do have one more caller who has chimed in with a question. Caller number 185. Your audio is unmuted. Caller 185.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jalika Dumas, and I sit on the board of the National Association of Black Women in Construction. And we have currently been working on our membership renewals during this time. And I just wanted to know if there are any grants or assistance available for nonprofit organizations like ours to recoup our losses of membership renewals due to the COVID-19 virus.
So we talked about that on yesterday, and right now the grants that are available through DEGC are not nonprofit, they are for-profit, to help those individuals who are in business for profit. So right now we don't have anything that I'm aware of, and I don't know if we're getting a feedback. So if you can put your phone on mute if you are on a cell phone, thank you. I don't know if Mr. Batton knows of any dollars that are available, and I will check further for additional resources that might be available through the state to help nonprofits. Do you know of any that's available right now, Mr. Batton?
Madam President, yes. Some of the, I would advise you to check out our website. As Madam President said, although our focus is for-profit businesses, some of the other resources that are available to potential nonprofits. There are some forms of SBA, that Small Business Administration funding, through loans that are available to nonprofits. Off the top of my head, I don't know exactly which products to be able to tell you about, but I would say check out our website. There's kind of a list of different links you can go to, and to kind of start your research right there.
And to the caller, if again, you as well have any additional questions, again, my staff is checking our voicemails pretty regularly. If you want to just leave your number and we will have someone call you back to see if we can assist you further or can put you in touch with someone at DEGC if that is necessary. So again, thank you for your call and thank you for what you do as well. Do we have any additional callers, Mr. Grady? If you unmute yourself.
I thought I did. Okay, there we go. We do not, wait a minute. Yes, ma'am, we do have one additional caller, caller 687. Your audio is unmuted.
Caller 687.
Yes, good evening. This is Brenda Butler.
Good evening, Ms. Butler.
Good evening. The information for the 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. meeting this evening, he failed to give a meeting ID number.
Okay. Mr. Patan, can you give the meeting ID? Is there a meeting ID number for the meeting tonight? And can you just give all of the information if someone wanted to log into the meeting tonight? And I know it's phone only, so can you give that information?
Absolutely, and sorry about that. I'm going to start again with the telephone number and then also give the meeting ID number this time. So the telephone numbers are 253-215-8782. Again, that's 253-215-8782. And the second number is 267.
Hold on for a minute. The meeting ID the same for both numbers?
Yes, it is, Madam President.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, not a problem at all. The second number is 267-831-0333. Again, that second number is 267-831-0333. And the meeting ID for both of those numbers is 870-544-375. Again, that's 870-544-375.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Butler. Thank you, Mr. Patton.
You're so welcome.
While we are still waiting, I want to just give a shout out to Greektown Casino Hotels who stepped up to the plate and made rooms available to our first responders who have concerns about possibly exposing their family members at home. And they do not have the coronavirus, but they don't want to expose their family members to it. I want to just give a shout out to Greektown Casino and Hotel. They are giving the city these rooms at no cost to the city. I want to say thank you. Also want to give a shout out to Wayne State, who is also Wayne State University, making their facility available to assist during this time. I want to give them a shout out. And also, I just want to talk about what we have to come in the next 2 days. On tomorrow, we will have a video conference will focus on evictions and court services. and our own Chief Judge, William McConaughey from the 36th District Court will be a panelist. We will also talk about foreclosures, which we will not have any. Our Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabri, will be a panelist. We will talk about property tax abatements. Willie Donwell, the director of the Detroit Board of Review, will be a panelist. And finally, tomorrow, but not least, we will talk about homeless services. Donald Rencher, the director of Detroit Housing and Revitalization Department, will be a panelist. Again, this will start at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then on Friday, we will also be coming to you on Friday. And we have a great lineup on Friday regarding COVID-19. And we will have Curtis Doster, the legislative director for Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. We will have Constant Logan, the director of Small Business Administration, Michigan. We will have Dion Williams, the director of External Affairs and Faith-Based Initiatives from the Governor's Office. And we will have Kimberly Berry, the deputy director of UIA, State of Michigan. So I want to ask you to tune in on the next 2 days as we are trying to give information to everyone on COVID-19 and things that can assist them. Today we had an outstanding conversation this morning talking about COVID-19 and water issues. We had the director, Gary Brown, talking about water issues and assuring us that all the residents in the city of Detroit will have running water. And I want to thank Governor Whitmer for the executive order to ensure that that will happen. And so if anyone that's listening today that did not listen on yesterday or did not have an opportunity to listen to 9:10 a.m. this morning, as I was hosting from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. my first show, and you know someone who is living in a home, please call my office, leave the address so that we can get that person running water. It is so important right now. We are facing times that we have never faced before, and it's important that we assist everyone as people continue to say, wash your hands, wash your hands. We want to make sure they're able to wash their hands. And I've also tasked Mr. Brown with coming up with a way that once we get service to these people that are in the city of Detroit, to our residents, that they can continue to have service. We are looking at Mr. Brown coming up with a plan, and we are looking at working with any individuals who are willing to work with us to ensure that we have a good plan to assist the citizens in the city of Detroit. And so I want to also take an opportunity to thank everyone who have been out at the State Fairground, volunteering to assist, giving tests out to those who wanted to, who got a prescription from a doctor to come and get a test at the State Fairgrounds. I want to thank all the partners who made it possible for this to happen. And again, to all of the volunteers, all of the departments, as well as my colleagues who have also been out there assisting in doing so. I don't know if we have anything else or if there's any other callers that are on the line.
Madam President, we do not have any other callers on the line, but I would like to take this moment to thank our producer for the series, Jasmine Barnes, our legislative operations manager and digital content manager. She's doing a fantastic job with this entire experience. Also, I'd like to thank Stacy Clayton and Linda Wesley, who have been working behind the scenes to ensure that our callers are able to come on and be prepared for the public comment portion. I'd also like to thank Ms. Avery Peoples, who is liaison to council, who has assisted us with lining up many of our esteemed panelists. I've also got to thank Mike Holmont of IT Do It, who has been behind the scenes with IT tech support, Rebecca, all of those folks behind the scenes who have been making this digital engagement event a success. I just want to take time to thank them all.
Thank you so much for that. And I also echo to each person who have made this possible. Thank you so very much for making this possible. I want to thank all of the panelists who have participated in our second series as well as our first series in being available to answer the questions as well as give the information to assist during COVID-19. I don't know if there's anything else any of the panelists want to add. If there is nothing else any of the panelists wants to add, the last thing I do want to say again is that I don't know exactly what happened today at the Water Department, but I do know that Detroit City Council referred a resolution voted on unanimously by my colleagues as I spoke to Mr. Brown during the weekend, as I received a call from one of our smaller communities talking about how hard it is. As we spoke, one of the mayors I spoke with, and we were talking about how hard it's going to be for people to pay bills. And so I presented a resolution to my colleagues who unanimously approved that resolution to ensure that there would be no late fees or penalties charged to our residents during this COVID-19 period, and to further take that resolution to the Great Lakes Water Authority to ensure that the same thing can happen to all of the residents. As we know, this is not just a Detroit situation. This is a situation that is affecting a pandemic that is affecting the United States of America as well as the entire state of Michigan. And again, I just want to thank Mr. Brown and thank everyone who's working tireless to ensure that the residents are helped, and especially those who have been working tireless prior to COVID-19 to ensure that we help the residents in the city of Detroit. Thank you so very much. If there is nothing else, I am going to take the opportunity to sign off early. If there's nothing else, I know it will give an opportunity for some of our panelists to prepare for other meetings that they have for this evening. So if there is nothing else, thank you again to everyone. The ones who are up front and the ones who are behind the scenes making things happen. Thank you so very much. And this will conclude our session for our digital community engagement for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, everyone. Madam President, if I can have you to end the meeting.
That's actually me that has to do that. So Mike, I'm all set to go.
All right.
Okay, see you later, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
I think Mike, am I all
Thank you,
set
Ms.
to?
Barnes.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
We have a great producer.
We got a great council president.
Team Jones, I think. And it looks like we've had people who have become part of Team Jones. In the middle, they didn't know that they were a part.
Okay, so I'm ending, Stephen, ready to go. Mike, and I'm good to end.
Ready to go.
I just want to make sure that the recording and everything is set. Okay, let me press again.
Hi, you can just